What's up, everyone, and welcome to our post E3 coverage. This video, we're going to focus on the announcement of Project Scorpio that Microsoft officially confirmed today. It's going to have 4K gameplay capabilities, which is, probably the biggest selling point of it. It's going to come out in holiday season 2017. So I want to go in depth with you guys. What do you think about this announcement? It's going to have 6 teraflops of processing power. That's going to be 3 to 4 times faster than, or 3 to 4 times more powerful than what we already have now with the Xbox One and the PS4. The PS4K or PS4.5 or PS4 Neo is going to have rumored to be about 2.1 to 2.2 teraflops. So I just want to know what do you guys think of this announcement?
I think it really puts the pressure on Sony, kind of, to get their stuff together, I guess.
Yeah.
But I liked how they announced it, and then they said the reason they wanted to announce it was to give the developers time to make stuff for it, which I thought was kind of cool. So you can, the developers can start thinking about what they want to make with that and the 4K resolution and everything.
Yeah, and I think because they went ahead and announced it this year, that means next year at E3, I think we'll probably see some games.
Yeah.
For it.
On the Scorpio. It's a big announcement. It's really huge for Microsoft, I think, and really speaks to what their future they want to bring us.
Yeah. So here's what I want to ask you, Trevor.
Okay.
Now, Trevor is the only owner currently of a PlayStation 4. All of us right now are Xbox One guys.
We have a past owner in the room.
Now, I'm pretty platform agnostic. There's a very good chance I'm going to be getting a Neo, PS4K, whatever they end up calling it. So here's my question that I want to pose to you. With this announcement with Scorpio, what does this mean for the Neo? Does this mean if you're Sony, do you say, we're going to go ahead with our plan. We're going to come out with this half measure at maybe a third of the power of the Scorpio? Or do you say, let's maybe increase the power of this thing more than what we originally thought? I'm not saying you go full out, bring it up to 6 teraflops like the Scorpio, but maybe you take a look and say, our 2.1 teraflops isn't going to cut it against this new thing coming out that's going to have 6.
Well, okay, I definitely think they are going to need to take a step back and see what limitations can we kind of work past, what mechanically can we change to compete, because that is really such a significant step between those two consoles that they could create, that they have to do something. I don't think playing a 4K video or playing the game in 4K is huge.
Yeah.
And not everyone's going to be like, oh, well, there's such a significant difference. I can't get the PS4 Neo because the graphical fidelity is not going to be up to par.
Sure.
But at the same time, you can't just say, oh, well, we'll just ignore those people that do want 4K games.
Yeah.
So I think, assuming that they were going to talk about it, they probably will still talk about it, because that's a good chunk of their show that would just be cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think, if anything, they will be maybe saying some way they want to improve it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so they did already come out and actually say that they're not going to talk about the Neo at this conference.
Okay.
So Andrew House, who is the head of the PlayStation department at Sony, came out in a interview with the Financial Times, and he came out and said, the Neo is a real thing. We want to bring more power to gamers, developers, all of that. But he did come out and say, we're not going to talk about this at E3. So I just think this puts Sony in a very hard place because they are looking at this, what a lot of people might call a half measure, whereas it sounds like Microsoft, and full disclosure, Microsoft has already said that all of the things in the Xbox One family line right now will work on Project Scorpio. But Microsoft sounds like they are wanting to start a whole new console generation. Theirs doesn't sound like a half measure or anything. It doesn't sound like a 1.5 like what everyone,
especially with 6 teraflops.
No, this isn't a 1.5. This is a whole new console generation. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to have Sony that is going to be in the same console generation. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? Because we've dealt with this before, I believe, with the Wii. Wasn't it the Wii when Xbox came out and then, or I guess it was the Wii U. Xbox came out, Xbox 360 came out, Xbox One came out, PS4 came out, and then the Wii U was, I guess the Wii U came out before, right? Wii U was the first console that came out to kick off the new generation, and it was incredibly underpowered, and now they're dealing with this type of issue where they don't have enough power, and devs aren't wanting to put games on their machine.
Right.
So, I don't know, I'm just kind of wanting to pose the question to you guys. What does this mean for Sony, and what does this mean for the landscape right now where we have Sony is just stomping Microsoft right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the Neo and the Project Scorpio is going to come out.
Is the Neo dead on arrival? If you're a platform agnostic guy, if you don't care about your Uncharted's, if you don't care about your Gears, your Halos, I'm just saying there's people that only play consoles for third-party stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a third-party gamer right now, do you look at Neo and you say, you know what, there's this thing coming out next year? I've been doing this with the Neo. Mm-hmm. I was going to get a PlayStation 4, and I said, I'm going to wait until this fall. Do people do the same thing with the Neo and look towards Scorpio?
I mean, I don't know. I think people that have maybe been thinking about getting a PlayStation 4, like you, will still get the Neo because they want that, and I know that they're going to want those exclusives that they have, and that's what I think PlayStation's going to have to kind of rely on, is the exclusives that they're going to have.
Yeah. I mean, software it's pretty commonplace of a thought where you hear software is king. So, I mean, Drew, what do you think about all this?
Yeah, I mean,
where does this leave the Neo? What does this mean for the next couple years?
Well, the Neo is still, I think I'll do fine. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I do.
Yeah.
But,
do you think we'll see a PlayStation 5 in
place of it, the 4.5?
No. Do you think we'll see a PlayStation 5 maybe in 2018 to counter the Scorpio?
Well, the Neo wouldn't come out until 2017, right? It wouldn't come out this year.
There is a possibility of it coming out holiday this year. There's still that rumor floating around. It's never been confirmed or denied, but
if that does happen, I think it's if it does come out this year, I think it's almost how, what's the point of that more so than the Xbox Slim and then Scorpio next year? Because the Neo almost seems like more than a Slim model.
Yeah, the Neo is a hardware upgrade,
right?
Other than just let's make it smaller and all that.
See,
it's going to have a little bit more power to it.
Yeah, and then if the PlayStation 5 came out next year, then the rival the Scorpio in the same year, then it's what was the point of coming out with the Neo? Mm-hmm. If you're just going to it basically seemed like it's scrapping that.
Well, they might be scrambling right now, and they might think that they need to counter the Scorpio.
Right, and I mean, I think they should too. but-
Yeah.
I mean, I think if there's a company that's going to be able to catch up to Microsoft, it'd be Sony. Like,
Yeah.
they're both huge companies
Yeah.
that like have the power to do these type of things. Like, I think the PlayStation's going to be fine. Like, it's going to be fine.
And they might even have like fail safes put in place in case this did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so what if they just come out with announcing this console that's super powerful?
They're always, both of these companies and Nintendo are always prototyping
Yeah.
stuff. So it's not like they're completely in the dark. I mean, they'll be ready, but it'll take them time if they want to counter this
Right.
maybe in a couple years. But it's a very interesting place that these two companies are in right now.
I mean,
I-
they have a long history of like one-upping each other. Like
Yeah.
Exactly.
they'll
It's
catch
just a
up,
thing,
and then
yeah.
And-
Sony will be ahead, and
And
Microsoft.
Sony still has a
It's like they just
PSVR.
keep taking each turns on who's on top. You know. Yeah.
And someone did mention it earlier, but this constant war of escalation is only good for gamers. I mean, it's...
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know...
Console war.
Oh, man. Okay, well, I think we're going to end it on that note, but that's what we think of Project Scorpio, what we think, how it's going to affect the Neo, how it's going to affect Microsoft and Xbox. Let us know down in the comments below what you guys think. This is Drew Shishley, I'm Corey Foster, this is Trevor Bradley, and this is Austin Miller. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.